everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany, and I have a pretty exciting video for you today. It is gonna be a little crazy, and I'm sort of exposing a little bit more of my crazy. I don't even know if that's possible to do even more after all of my insane book hauls, but yeah, so I thought that I would go over the ins and outs of a certain brand of gel pen slash acrylic marker that we all know and most of us love, question mark. I don't see many bad things about them, so but yeah, this is gonna be my crazy Languo supply video, question mark. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the different types of pens that they have and the different color options, the three different series of pens that they have, the acrylic markers and some swatches, and then if I didn't bring it over here, but I will kind of show a couple of pages that I've done with them. Yeah, so this also has to do with Languo, but this is just my really cute strawberry milk pen case that I keep a spare set of the shiny slash glitter pens in. Yeah, but it just looked cute with my mat, so I thought I would just put it out. So I'll show these more in a little bit. I honestly, I don't really know how to do these types of videos because I, haven't done them before. So I will just kind of go over how I found the brand, I guess, and how it sort of morphed into what I would consider now to be a slight obsession. So we will get started. Does anyone ever feel like when you start a video, you're just like super awkward and like you're like, I just want to turn this off and not do it, but then after you keep talking for like 3 hours like I tend to do, then it gets a little bit better. Crazy. Oh, I just got a notification. Anyway, yeah, so basically my introduction to these sort of came the same as a lot of other people's. Colored by Maya's channel. I remember very vividly. I think I was working from home that day and I had one of her videos on, and I saw like she just had like a couple of packs at that point. Like it was pretty early on. Now these have been around for quite a while, but this was like, I don't know, maybe 6-9 months ago, maybe. And I was like, these look really cool and they look really familiar because I have I don't have them over here with me, but I have some that are sort of similar. So these are just like I think they're just like some sort of generic like off-brand that I found at like TJ Maxx or something. But I have a set of, what is the name, Primrosia gel pens that sort of look like, well, they look exactly like these except there's a name brand on them. So they also have like a finer point nib and all that jazz. These don't work as well. I think they're just like, they just don't flow as easily. But yeah, so I'd gotten those right when I started coloring, and I was like, I really like these more than like your typical gel pens, because we all know, like, if you get like a normal gel pen set, like, I don't have one over here, I don't think. This is sort of a bad example, but like, so like these types of gel pens, you know, these are glitter Chromatex, so these are great. It's not what I'm talking about. But like that design gel pen, if they're not glitter, they're basically garbage, in my opinion. You know, they skip and they don't start, and you have to like bang them on the table, and it's a whole thing, and it was so annoying. But I would just get frustrated because, you know, like I would want to use a gel pen that wasn't glittery. So when I found those Primrosia ones way back in the day, like a year and a half ago or so, I was really excited. But they're so expensive. Like even now, it's like $49 for like 36 gel pens, and like they're good, but they're not that good, because they also have like neons in there that don't really work. So it's kind of the same as like all the other brands. But anyway, so I was watching Color by Maya, and I saw like the few packs of Languos that she had, and at that point I was like, how in the world am I gonna find these? Because I looked on Amazon, and of course they weren't there. So she had said, I think she got them on AliExpress. I'm not a big AliExpress fan. I will use it if I have to, just because it takes so long to get to me. But I searched and searched and searched. I found them on AliExpress, and they were still like individual packs, and it was, you know, at that point I think there were like 9 or 10 packs, whatever. And I added them all to my cart, and for some reason, like AliExpress, like the price kept changing, and it was really annoying. And I was like, why does this keep happening? So anyway, I didn't end up getting those because I was like, well, forget that. Like, it's, you know, too expensive. So then I found them on Temu. I believe it was Temu. So that's when I got my first like initial set, and I think I ended up getting like individual packs and like all of the types. And then I ended up accidentally getting some other brands, like these mochas that I'm sure a lot of us have seen before, which are pretty similar. They work pretty well, and I like this set in particular. I really like the pinks and stuff. But you know, then that sort of just started spiraling, and then I realized that there were more, and I didn't have all of them, so then I had to search world and find them. So I found them, and you know, basically that turned into, well, where we're at now. So I'm gonna go in some semblance of order of when I got them, and sort of like the different sets and stuff. But this is not my first set, but like from the first few like packs and stuff that I got. Well, it might still be the first set actually, I don't know. But I got this case on Amazon to put them in. Super cute. So this is one that like has the deeper pockets where you can, I don't know if you can see that, but like they go down into here. So I think it's a 96 set case. So at that time worked perfectly, right? Because, you know, there were only, I think at that point, 99 pins, but then with like the white and the gold and the silver, like it, you know, it was less or whatever. So they all fit, you know. So you have the yellows and the warm yellows and the reds and pinks and the purples and the blue, green, skin colors. The dopamine sets, the Mirandy sets are all over here. The colorful black, which did come out a little bit later on. The Maillard set, the highlight set, which is the white, gold, and silver. So I only put one of each in there. I have extras of those. And then this is the sketch set, which isn't really as big, and I think I have a new pack somewhere around here. I'll find it. Like doesn't get talked about as much, but this is like my favorite black gel pen. I mean, like obviously Languo was my favorite in general, but I really like using them for, where is it? Oh no, where did it go? I like using them on color by numbers to like outline. If I can find it. right here. Sorry, I've a million things around me. So I used the black sketch for this little Sailor Moon page, and it worked so well. Like, I mean, look how crisp the lines are. To the point where I like finished her and I was like, I don't want to mess it up, so I haven't done anything else with it in a while. Other than this like one sad little piece of fabric that I colored. But yeah, so love those. Which those you get 6 instead of 9, and it's like a gray and black set. So I do have my first set of swatches, and I'm sure everybody has seen these, and I'm not very good at like, I don't know. I'm not like an expert on this whole video thing yet, so I don't know like what all to talk about. But I just wanted to show them off because I love them so much. So this is basically everything except for the sketch pins, because I'm actually working on re-swatching all of my like sets and like putting them into like these types of swatches. So but that's sort of a slow work in progress because it takes a while. Oh, I forgot to bring it over. I'll get up and get that in a second. So when I first got them, like this is my like random sketchbook that I just like put random smaller sets of things in, that like things that I don't think are gonna have like an expanding color selection, or that I'm not gonna get any more of. Like these are like Walmart gel pens and like the Inkjoy pens and stuff, so kind of random. Yeah. But yeah, so that's why I started doing them on here, because at the time I was like, oh, this is all they're gonna be. So, you know, I had them all spread out and everything. Well, then the flipping dopamine set came out, and then the colorful black set came out, so then I had to just stick them here. So that's why I want to redo them. But anyway, I love the colors. They are fantastic. They all work so well. They're so smooth. I'm sure if you've used them before, then you know. They are they're an acrylic gel pen, so instead of being like that gel ink like your typical gel pen, I don't know if I have one over here. Why don't I have a normal gel pen anywhere? Huh, wild. Well, I mean, like, these probably aren't the best example, but you know, like a normal gel pen. Oh, look at that, I have a whole set for here. Like my Link and my flares and stuff, like that style of gel pen. So they have a different kind of ink. Oh my gosh, I just knocked the heck out of my phone stand. So yeah, where those are more like a normal like pen ink, these are definitely more like acrylic paint sort of ish. So let me get a blank piece of paper somewhere in this mess of an office that I have. Hang on 2 seconds. Okay. So I grabbed a couple of things to show that I use with the pins, and anyway, so currently the Languo like normal pin line, so like this style, as of right now there are 203 colors, and that is because in the past like month-ish or so they released 5 new packs of colors. So there's gonna be a glare, but you have your dusty blue, which are very pretty. I really just got them like a couple of days ago, so I don't have them, like, need to figure out this case situation because they're not all gonna fit. Then I have sage green. Those are really pretty. There's another skin tone set, which is a dark skin tone set, which is fantastic. Love those. Then my 2 favorites are advanced gray, which I'll show you the swatches. They're super pretty when they're like swatched. And then my favorite is the light colors, which are like these like pastel sort of, they remind me of candy, like cotton candy, like that kind of thing. So these currently you can get as a set, I believe, on Shein. I got these on AliExpress because at the time, like I said, they were so new that like AliExpress gets stuff first for some reason. So I waited literally weeks and weeks to get them. So finally got them a couple days ago. So I got those swatched. And then randomly when I was doing my swatches, I realized, because I bought a different swatch chart, and I'll show you those too. I was like going through the pages when I printed them out, and I realized I did not have this set, which is lipstick red. So this one must be newer-ish, and I have no idea how I like missed it. But I have this one now. I only have one, which for me is a little wacky because I normally have like 7 or 8 of each kind, which I'll show you my stockpile in a second. So swatches for those new colors, and I got these charts on Etsy, and I'm going to cut them out and hole punch them so that I can like hold them up to like color by numbers and stuff, and then also just put them on like a key ring. So you have your sage green, your dusty blue, the advanced gray, which I love. I don't even know if you can like see it, but it's so pretty. Looks sort of dark. I need to turn this up. Hang on. I don't know if that's gonna help or not, but yeah. So those are really pretty. And then the dark skin, which will be really helpful for color by numbers. I dropped a big old blob of ink on there when I was swatching them. And then these are the light colors, which are my favorite. They're so pretty. Love them. You will probably notice that these are like super, you can't tell because you're not, you know, me and you're not here. But there's a whole lot of ink on each of these swatches. And that is because I am lazy. And I found a little shortcut to making the ink come out a little bit easier. So we'll just use these blues because they're right here. So your typical Languo experience. I wonder if I can zoom in. Of course I can't. So you've got so usually they flow really, really well like that, but sometimes they do get clogged, or you know, like you gotta kind of shake them up a little bit and everything. So I was doing those swatches and I was like, this is gonna take me literally forever. So instead of taking forever, I saw in a video a while back, it's actually kind of an old video that someone had done, and they said to take sticky tack. Well, I think they said it needed eraser, but this was cheaper, so this whole pack on Amazon was like $1.50 or something. So she took it and sort of balled it up a little bit, and then pulled out this little plug on the back, which they can be kind of tricky to get out. So there's like this little cap on the end of all of them. So pull that out. Definitely don't lose this because then you'll just make a huge mess and your pen will dry up. So then you take it and you stick it in the hole and you kind of block off the airflow a little bit. And then you can tell like the ink is pouring out already. So then you can sort of put more down. And I think Jackie at Spare Room Studios has been doing videos with her Languos this week, and she did this as well. She uses hers to like paint with them. It's super cool. Like she'll put some ink down and then use like a water brush to like spread it out or whatever. Yeah, so the difference between like normal and then with that sticky tack in there is crazy. It will take longer to dry because it is so much thicker like that, just as an FYI. Whoa. So let's see here. So yeah, this is like your typical set that we all sort of know about. They did start releasing them in I don't want to say like full sets, but like almost full sets. And I just realized that I have two of the exact same thing. Interesting. So originally they did these fun guys in a 48 set, I think. And this is like a bigger, like this is the 99 set. And I got this one on Amazon, and you can take these off and open them up like this. And then each little set is in here like that. So you take your little tray out, and they're like secured in there. Well, almost all of them are. I think I was using these earlier. These are a little bit different because they don't have the specific pack on them, but they do have numbers, which is really cool. So when I do swatch them, I don't know if I'm gonna use these or if I'm just gonna use the ones that are in here because they're already like out, and you know, like my swatches go by like the names of the charts versus like numbers. So yeah, so these stack up really nicely, and you can take them all off. And that one's not staying in for whatever reason. And then when you're done, you just put it back on, and then on this back side, nope, not on this one. Well, some of them, is this a newer one? Huh. On the front side here, they have these little clasps, and then you just hook it back together like that, and then you stack them and then like that, and like this, and then like that. And this is, oh gosh, those are not, oh, okay, so they like lock into place on the back. I don't have it locked right now, but we'll fix it later. Yeah, so I have that set, and I thought, and I don't know why, for some reason, I bought the 48 set because I was going to take a smaller set to work, but I just ended up with another 99 set. So I don't know that I'll take these to work, just because, I don't know, it's kind of a lot. But I have those. Just to make it a little bit easier, like if I'm gonna leave one set like on my desk in this big case, sort of takes a lot of room. I don't have a lot of room over here, so that's why I got that. And then well, you know, I was on Shein and I found this. And this is the 168 set. Let's see right there, which was the full set until they released these 5. And I ended up getting them all at the same time, sort of around the same time. This came a little bit before. But I mean, it's fine. Like, these will still get used to, obviously. And I love this case. So it comes in, like, it pulls apart, and there's Velcro like that, and they stick together. So like you've got the first half on this side, and you can't see because there's a glare again, and then the second half, and then you've got actually 4 extra blacks in there, which is really cool because I use those a lot. And then like looks like mostly the dopamine and the Mirandy, and then the highlights and the skin tones. So, and then you just stick them together like that. And then to open it, you just use these little claspies, which I'm sure, you know, they're kind of finicky to get in there a little bit, like, you know, because I think there's like a plastic tray in there, so kind of fight with it a little bit. So there's that. so these, like I said, are typically the ones that most people, not like that case specifically, but like this style, like those are like the more popular option. And then you have the less common / less well-known. You have the shinies and the 3D, which are here. And I actually have not swatched these at all or really used them. I think I showed them in a video when I first got them, because these are harder to find. So I found them on Temu also, and these are weird. So like the 3D ones I think are like an older style because they've got like a different lid, and they're also like triangular, which is wild. Yeah, so these are older, I think, and probably not sold anymore, if I'm being honest, just because they were not that impressive. But I will swap a couple of them out. Where did I put my paper? This isn't dry yet. Oh, that still hasn't dried yet. So yeah, you really got to be careful if you use those for like a color by number. Like, you do not want to put down a whole bunch of ink and then smear your hand in it like I do all the time. So these, you have a 1.0 millimeter, I believe, or at least it's bigger than like your typical Languo. And there's a little ball, I think, on the end of it. Yeah, so you do have to press down with these, but they press down fairly easily. But I just don't really know when I'm gonna use these, just because they're kind of, I don't know if I need to shake them more, but they get sort of watery. They're supposed to be 3D, so sort of like the souffle pens by Jelly Roll, but they don't really work like a souffle pen. Let me get one of those out and show you, because I keep everything right here. Yeah, we use this one. This is my Jelly Roll case, and I love it. Just, you know, if anyone wanted to see it. I have this weird thing where I like to have my pins match like the kind of case that they're in. Don't ask me why. So here's your typical souffle pen by, technically I guess it's by Sakura, not by Jelly Roll. But with these, I love these. I need to use them more. Because I will tell you that these have been sitting in this case for probably a year, and they literally flow perfectly. But like, you do have to wait for it to dry to get like that full 3D effect. But like, look how much darker the ink is. And it's a different color, yeah, but like, this is super watery and you can't really. I'm gonna get a better camera eventually so that I don't have to like move the stuff closer to the camera. I can move the camera closer to me. But for right now, we just have my phone. So, and I am gonna do a full like supply collection video. Oh gosh, don't unhook the camera. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna do a full like supply collection series eventually. I'm just, I don't know, lazy, and I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. So you have those three, which, let's compare the color that's actually closest to the souffle. Okay, so this one is better. It could just be that color, but still definitely not as good. It's still pretty thin, but I'll use them. But I just don't, I only have these, like I don't have extras of them just because these were hard to find, and then when I got them I was like, meh, you know. So and I don't actually even keep these with my like full set. I just, oh, there's another one, hold on. Just kidding. Oh, here's that sketch set. I knew I had a full one. Yeah, so this is what the smaller packs look like. And I don't know why they decided to do 6 instead of 9 for that one, but whatever. So yeah, so we've got, I'm gonna leave them out so that I know to swatch them. Yeah, so how many do we have here? 6, 12, 18 of the 3Ds. And I think that's all there are in the 3D sets. And then we'll go to the shiny set, which this one is the same. That's right. I accidentally got 2 of this one. So, put that back. So there's only 3 also. So you've got like these darker, like jewel tones, and then these like typical primary-ish colors, and then like the neons. And they're supposed to be glittery, which they are, kind of. But I noticed a lot of ink inconsistencies with them, so you can tell there's like silver, which I guess is probably like the mica from the glitter. If you just sort of shake them up and bang them around a little bit, you can sort of get that, you know, a little better. But they still have that like ball that you have to press down, but I don't know, the ink definitely does not flow as well. They're still pretty, you know, like there's some glitter. I don't know if you can see it. It's a really small swatch. I should probably make that bigger. So we'll do pink and we'll do purple. That's easy to see. And a purple. Yeah, you just have to like, they're more like your typical gel pen. Then like the ink, I mean, is more like your typical glitter ink gel pen versus the like acrylic ink. So I think that's probably what makes them different. And also what I think is weird is the silver and the gold that come in this set are different than the silver and gold in the highlight set. Not super different, but this gold is glittery, whereas the gold in the highlight set is just gold. So, which I actually like that there is like a gold glitter, because I feel like I think the only, oh, there's glitter in the silver one too, actually. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so those are pretty. So that is the difference. They're glitter versus metallic. And we'll do, oh, you know what? I have never tested the black to see if it's actually black or if it turns red. So we will do the black and we'll do this blue. That's pretty. Let's see if it is actually glittery. That might make a difference, and I might need, oh boy. Oh no. This is what happens when I don't actually swatch things and I just leave them sitting. What? It's actually black. I don't know if anyone else has that issue, but like most flippin' gel, like glitter gel pens, the black turns red. Oh, hold on, pause. Yeah, so like you know, most of them turn red, like in my my Grabies, I don't know how you're saying. They're like, it's called wine, so I guess technically it's supposed to be like that, but like the dual metallic, Pentel dual metallic, like that one's red instead of black, but like this is like actually black, so I might need to actually get some more of these. And this one is supposed to be blue, but it looks kind of purpley. Ooh, this one's pretty. It's blue. Okay. Yeah, so those are pretty. Here's the blue. Love that. Okay. Well, learn something new every day. So I will also leave these out so that I can actually swatch them, so that I actually use them instead of just sticking them in a drawer. Going back to these that are almost drying. The 3D ones, like once they're dry, they are a little bit more opaque, but this pinky colored one is a little funky. I don't know if I should have shaken it, but you know, it's not typically what you have to do. But yeah, so that was, there's a dog hair on my paper, as per usual. Next up, we have, in my chronological timeline of becoming obsessed with Languo, I found those, and then they came out with these. Also, this case is Languo. I've shown these before in a previous video, but they hold 48, I think. So I have a few different sets in here, which I like because it's small and I can like throw it in my bag. I have like a coloring backpack that I take places. So yeah, so these, and let me show you the actual packaging because these are out of the package, but this is another spare set that I haven't even taken out of the box yet. Actually, I'll just probably leave them in the box, but that one just wants to stay in the box. There we go. So that out of the frame. You have the Languo Plus, which I think these are called the, yeah, these are shiny. So I think these are sort of like a newer version of like the shinies. The colors are different, but you know, kind of. Oh, and then there's also these little tiny 4-packs that are shiny. So some of them are that like kind of dual metallic-y sort of glitter, and then others are just straight glitter. So I will swatch out one from each pack to show you. I have swatches, actually. Hold on. I'm also going to get the same swatches from that Etsy shop for these. Just haven't done that yet. Where did I put my book? Here it is. I think I have them in here. I have about a million other things. Just conversationally, while we're talking about glitter, these are my Grabby Jumbo pins, and are they not beautiful? Beautiful. Love them. That's not why we're here, but very pretty. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. Oh, I did swatch all those out. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my dang mind. I didn't swatch the 3D ones, but I swatched the glitter ones. Sorry for my like dirty swatch book. So yeah, you've got those first ones that have 6 in each of them, and then the smaller sets that have 4. So these do have names, like set names, and then also numbers on each of the pins, which is very helpful. So the smaller 4-packs are the ones that are like that dual metallic-y sort of deal. So you've got sort of like the different color glitter in there with those. And then the rest of them are just normal glitter. And they're more like a flat glitter. They're not super duper glittery. They are just, well, they're shiny. Which is what they're called. So that makes sense. There's those. We can play with a couple of them. I'll use. Yes, and I do have them pretty much everywhere in my office. This was the first set that I got of them, so that's why they're in here by themselves. Yeah, so you can see on the bottoms they have pack name, like abbreviations, and then numbers. So, and we'll do another blue. These do have the thicker 1mm nib, and they are really chunky, which they're very nice, very comfortable to hold, which is cool. And they also just flow so much better than those other ones. So yeah, there's that one. Love that. I use these a lot on this one. So yeah, you barely like have to put any like effort into it, and they just like flow. Beautiful. So that's why I have so many extra sets, because I got sort of, ooh, we'll do these like pastel colors. I got sort of nervous. This one doesn't work quite as well. There we go. Well, yeah, the darker colors seem to come out a little bit better, but this paper is also really smooth, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I got nervous with the whole tariff situation. So around November, December, I started, well, originally I was stressed and all because lost my grandpa. And then, like 2 or 3 days later, like after that, the election, well, no, reverse, sorry. Election first, that was a bummer. That was a Tuesday. And then that same week, like on Sunday, lost my grandpa. But anyway, I don't know, like, just how I cope, I guess. So I started thinking to myself, what are you gonna do if you can't get them anymore? What are we gonna do? Because, at that point, I got these big honkin' sets, like, pretty recently, like, within the past couple of months. So you can get them now on, like, Amazon. And then also the brand Nicety, which they do mostly acrylic markers right now. Like, they have a few different sets. They have, like, your Toolie art type sets, and then they have, like, the brush tips. And they have alcohol markers, too. They are coming out with, like, a full set of, I think, 168 that are, like, the normal style. But it's their brand, but they have, like, the same names. So I'm assuming that these are actually, like, probably a white label sort of situation. Because, like, otherwise they did say something on their Instagram about, like, they worked with Languo in order to make them. I don't know. But anyway, you'll be able to get them fairly easily. Like, you can get, I know for me, like, these 99 sets, the plastic ones, like, same day or next day on Amazon. So, like, they're very readily available. And there's 11 sets in that case. I saved this little swatch for myself just to know which ones are in there. But at the time, I was like, oh, what am I going to do if I, use them all up and I don't have any more? Blah. That's how my brain works. So, yeah, with the Trump, we'll just say, whatever, like, with him going after, with the tariffs and China specifically, those things that come from Temu, like this kind of stuff, I was, worried about prices going way up, because at that point they were super cheap. I mean, like $2 or $3 a pack, if not cheaper. So I decided that while in the interim between election day and inauguration day, I would just sort of stock up. So, I'll show you my actual stockpile at the end. But that was sort of how my brain coped for a while with everything. I just started collecting all of them. But anyway, now that, oh, these are dry. Super pretty. I really hope the glitter shows up. I hate that glitter does not show up as well on camera. It's annoying. Holy moly, we're 45 minutes in. You'll never get tired of listening to me talk. I get tired of listening to myself talk. But let me zip this. In that little bit of time when I was searching for them, I discovered that they had released another type of let me show you the actual packs. That they released another pack, another style of packs. I don't know what I'm talking about. That were called the calligraphy sets. And I have all of those right here. They are still in plastic. I will take them out though, so that there's not a glare. Don't fall. Stay. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I also found these originally on Color by Maya's page, I think. So that was also part of why I was looking on Temu at the time as well. I was buying new sets. I don't know that I actually need to open all of these because I have an open pack already. So anyway, you have the white in this calligraphy set, which they are very much the same as the glitter ones and like shape and everything. They've got these cool lids, big chunky barrel, and you know, they don't have names and numbers on them, but they're all the same in this pack. So yeah, so that's the calligraphy line. Love these white pens. I am obsessed with them. I have so many. Here is my backup set that I always keep in the drawer next to me. And then I also have a basket that has random ones in it. And then there's also the gold set of calligraphy, which is the same like that. The silver calligraphy, which I'll swatch out some of these too. And then there were one or two. Is it just two? I think it's just two. These calligraphy sets, which are like this really pretty palette of like these like muted or like earth tony kind of colors. Love those. So, oh, there's another pack. And then black, which I think is pretty much the same ink that's in those smaller sketch ones, but just like in a bigger one. The nib is bigger though, so it makes me nervous to do like my color by numbers with them, so I usually don't. But anyway, yeah, so I got online to find those, and as I was finding those, I discovered that there was another new set, and that was the Plus line. I think that's all. I think it's red. Blue. Green. Oh, don't have green. Green. Oh, have that one. And green. Okay, yeah. So I think there are currently 54 in the Languo Plus set. Same color inks. Same type of ink, but bigger pen. But one slight, yeah, well, two. Not as many colors. So you've got 203 in regular ones. You've only got 54 in the Plus. And then also with the Plus, they are a little bit different. And I'll show these. This is my other Languo set that I put those in. The little ones didn't really, like, 2, it was too loose, and then like 3 was too many, so I just, I don't know, left them in the other case. I'll do red. So, yep, same nib, except sort of like those original ones. There's this little ball, and you have to press down. But I did actually notice that once you use them a few times, you don't have to press down as hard. So that's good, but very nice flow on those as well. Yeah, and I love them. Obviously, right? Now, as I'm showing all of these and going through all of these, you don't need all of these. You do not need 3 sets of exactly the same pins. You don't. I don't. You know, that's my own warped mind, how I think. Obviously, they are very affordable. You do not need this many hoarded at one time like I have. Like I said, I was just really nervous with the tariffs and everything. And also, I have this like weird problem with a lot of things. Like, what do I do if I don't have it anymore? Like, what do I do if it's gone and I can't get it anymore? Like, I don't know. That's like a whole me thing. But also in that case, I keep the well, I'll show you. So it held all of the plus, and then there were some extra slots, so then I stuck the I thought I had them in here. Do I not? Oh no. Oh, did I mix them in? I'm losing my mind. I did not put them in there. I was going to. There's still enough slots for me, I think, possibly to put some of the calligraphy ones in there, but not all of them. So, but there's those, and there's the few colors. Those, like I said, that same ink, just in a bigger nib. Love them. Great. Such good quality ink. Super opaque, like crazy opaque. Like if you want like to cover lines and everything, like it's perfect for that. So I will actually show you a page that I did with the regular Languos. This is Life is Sweet by Jane Madej, and it's a very cute book if you have not seen it, which I think Colored by Maya also did a video on Get Creative 6 books. I don't remember if she had this one or not, but she had another Jane Madej book for sure. I actually think I'm gonna do this page tonight, because as I was getting ready for this, I was like, oh, that looks like fun. This book I'm gonna do some sort of different-y things with most of them, because they are this like really simple sort of thing. So this is actually what I did with the Languos, and I think I used a couple. I don't think it was the Languo glitter. I think it was just a regular glitter pin. I don't know. It might have been the, I don't know. But I just outlined all of the lines, and then left the insides empty. And then outlined this was all black. So like, you know, like that style. So then I just sort of outlined everything, and then I colored in like the images with the gel pens, and then outlined all of the images with the glitter gel pens, and same with like the thicker line words, but like the lines are completely gone. Like, it's crazy. I love them. Like, they're so good. And this was a lot of fun. Sort of doing like a backwards sort of coloring. I mean, obviously except for the little pictures, but yeah, I just love this page. It's so cute. And I forgot how much I liked doing it. So I really like my little hummingbird. Yeah, and you can tell like how well they flow and everything. Like, can't see any white through it. They're just fantastic. So like that, I don't think I have any other ones right here that I've done with them, but I use them a lot for like details on pages. Oh, excuse me. Color by numbers, which I don't do a ton of like in my Disney color by numbers because I'm terrible and I need to do more. But you know, when you have like 2,000-ish books, it's kind of hard to get to all of them. Anyway, yeah, so that is what I have as far as the gel pens, and I will show you my cat's meowing outside. How am I gonna do this? I have such a tiny desk that I don't have room for like anything. Which, no, I didn't have to get everything out to show in this video. I could have just told you what I had, but you know, like, who doesn't want to see my ridiculous collection, right? Move these here, move this here, get rid of this. I normally keep that bag down next to me here, just. And these little packs are, my last Shein order, I ended up just getting another set of these because they were on sale. So, you know, there's that. That's a whole other thing we'll get to in a second. Oh my gosh, can I even lift this thing? Okay, before I do this, I need you to understand. Like I said before, this is not normal. There's a big kerfuffle right now going on with like the whole overconsumption, whatever. I've talked a little bit about it before. I am 10,000% aware that I have too much stuff. I understand that about myself. I'm very, very aware that it's a lot, and I know. And you don't be like me if you don't want to be like me, but like at the same time, like if you want to, then, and if you can afford it, obviously, don't, do you. Like, if this is the thing right now in our world that keeps you sane, like it is me, then do what you gotta do, because honestly, like, everything is absolutely dreadful. And I know there's a lot of people that don't think that is something that should be discussed. This should just be for coloring. Like, that's not why we're here. I hear it all the time, but at the same time, this is where I feel like I can be myself, and then also like I can be open and honest about how I feel about everything. I've never tried to hide how I feel about all of it, but like I said, rewind. Train of thought gone. Do not feel like you need to have all of these things to color. You can literally color with, 6 Crayola markers and a coloring book from anywhere, Dollar Tree, or printed offline. Like, that's how I started. Like, my first pages that I colored were literally pages that I found on Pinterest that are 10,000% AI. Now I know that. Did not know that then. But, so like, I am on both sides of the whole overconsumption thing, because I guess I'm sort of like in the middle. If this was like a Venn diagram, I would be that little, in the middle. I don't ever want anyone to feel like they should be ashamed or embarrassed by what they like to do and what they like to buy, and like the things that make them happy. And I, like I said, if it's not hurting anyone else, then do exactly what you want to do. Then, oh gosh. But that being said, let me show you if I can lift it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I realize once I get this up here, and I'm gonna get it down. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, it's up here. Whew, alrighty. Let me move this first. Ooh. Alright, so this is my, other than this, which that mocha set should not be in there, I'll just stick that in there. These are my extra packs. And I'm not gonna get all of them out because that would be silly. But when I was ordering the new packs, I ordered 3 of each pack. They were cheap. I had a coupon thing on Temu, or no, AliExpress. So yeah, did that. Oh, look, I do have 2 packs. Oops, I think I only have, yep, I think I just have this like random 1 extra pack of that one. But these are all of my extras. I have them organized by, I thought by color for the most part, except for that lipstick red, which I don't have any more of. This is, there's also plus sets down on the bottom, so it's not all the regular kinds, but for the most part, it is. We've got the brandies, the highlights. That's another of those new ones. Then on the bottom, it's all plus sets, and they're actually all still, I'll show you, like packaged together. Oh, there's another sketch. I also don't have very many of these. They're harder to find. So this is how these plus packs came. So I've got a couple of those in here. And then I've got some extra of the calligraphies, which I need to add all of these, this new set in here if I can figure out how to make everything fit. Ooh, I should probably get a different solution. I'm thinking about getting like a plastic like tub with like that actually closes, because this sort of just falls out and goes everywhere. Yeah, so that is my hoard of extras. I do make sure that they stay flat or on their side, like they're not, oh gosh, this pack is not though. As I say that, of course. No wait, I'm okay with them being like tipped down, which I know you're not really supposed to, but with gel pens I feel like it's not as bad. As long as it's not like facing straight up, because then they would dry out quicker. Yeah, so yeah. I did get the majority of them as bundles. Like I would buy like full sets at a time, on Temu, Shein, what have you. And they do end up being really cheap. I think I got one of the sets for like $20 for like the entire like set. But other than that, like random lipstick red, which again, I don't know how. I literally just had that 1 pack, and I ended up getting that one on Amazon because that's where I saw it first, and I was like, how do I not have that? So that one I paid a little bit more for because I didn't have it. And I'll probably get a couple more packs to make sure I have enough. But again, that's me. That's not, don't be like me if you don't want to be like me. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this back down here, not make a huge mess. Oh my lantern. Okay. Okay, it's down. Moving on. We are an hour into this, but this one should not take as long. They started coming out with acrylic markers after a little while, so I got those as well. There's 2 different kinds. There's this kind, and there's, that's a third color set. I'm trying to find the same colors. Oh look, there's more shinies in here. Huh. Well, shoot. I don't have as many of these. We'll do, which one is this? The blue. Blue. Yeah, I'll do that. Ooh, okay. I'll move that back over there. Okay. So, originally, I think this was like the first kind that they did, and I numbered all of them. I just got them all out of order, but whatever. This was how they originally came. So they are brush tip, but they're sort of more like Arctic's, like their brush tips. So it's not like the direct liquid ink or anything. But then they did come out with the direct liquid ink, which for these, which one is the same? This one. I know that these are not as popular as the gel pens. I do not use them as often as I should. I do have the new colors, the new 5 colors coming in these packs from, found those on Shein, but it's taking forever. So this would be the direct ink. So they're kind of more like your guangna, like you just shake it, really well, and then the brush tip will work. I know that like Candace, Happy Catastrophe doesn't like them. They're definitely not as opaque as like your guangna or, you know, like your regular acrylic, but sometimes that's okay. This is not the same color. I will say I don't really like these as much. They seem to be, how did I do that? Oh, this one. They're like super duper translucent. But at the same time, like sometimes that's okay. I use them a lot for like flowers, like if I don't want all the lines covered up. Darker colors are obviously going to be, you know, more opaque than the lighter ones. But I do like how they look though. Like how cool is that? This like plastic like case on the outside. So these are the Color Studio line, and then these just say, I don't know if they really say anything. I'm sure they do. It's just in Chinese. These are also numbered right there, and this goes right here. So that is those. I have this set of this kind. It's the only one I have because, like I said, wasn't as big of a fan of them. Blue. This one goes here. That's the wrong way. This goes here. So, I think it's also up to the 99, I think. Maybe there's 99 of these, I think. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. There's still more in the other acrylic set. So, and then for these, I did not actually, I think I have the full set technically, which are right here. Except for those 5 new ones that are coming. But I also don't have the lipstick red. Or there's another one I don't have. I have the colorful black for sure, because that's like, I will show you that because that's one of my favorites. That's in like the regular gel pens and also in these. They're very pretty. But yeah, you've got all the same colors. So like here's the gray. This is supposed to be the Maillard set. It's just gray brown is what it's called. Color of skin, and then you've got the skin tone, which, oh wait, no, there is a Maillard set. What the heck is this one? Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, just kidding. Maillard, gray brown. I don't know. Where are you? Do I not have? Okay, well, exposing my own crazy here because I just ordered the 240 set of these from Shein. They come in like a really nice canvas bag, which I think is like the same material as their cases, like this. And it should have all of the colors in there, and then like a few extras, I think, like of like the black and the white and whatever. Because I guess I don't actually have a full set of these, which is fine. This is one of those like what are they called scrapbooking cases that I have just shoved full of extra sets of markers, and then I keep it on the side, like on its side, in between my entertainment center and my cart. There's also extra pins in here because I, like I said, ran out of room. Ooh. I don't have as much to say about the acrylic markers because I don't really use them that often. We'll test out some of the lighter colors and see what they look like. This is my like reminder to myself that I need to use them more. So this is the, I love the dopamine colors. They're so, oh, I love a neon. But yeah, definitely not very opaque. That's just fine. Where do you belong? How are you there? Oh, not another blue. I'll do silver. With the dopamine set, they did like the silver and the gold in the dopamine set instead of like in a set by itself, which is cool because the silver and gold are, they're just okay. There's silver and gold. I like the gold actually. It's like a yellowy gold. Looks kind of dirty, which is actually cool for gold. So yeah, that is one of the highlight colors. See, like you can see the streaking. Definitely would need like multiple layers. And then the silver and the gold. So that is that. They won't get back in there. Jesus. Whew. That was a journey. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about them. They're fantastic. I know I've said that before. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just ask me. I definitely love talking about them. It's sort of like my Roman Empire right now, I guess. Yeah, so I am going to attempt to put my office back together and figure out where to keep all of these extras. And then we'll work on getting this uploaded and figure out what I want to do next. So if you have any suggestions of another art supply, I know I've had a lot of people ask me about my acrylic markers, and I am going to do that, but I do want to wait for the Languos to get here, even though, I don't know, you've seen them already, but like just to fit in better. And there is another set that I want to get next week before I do that. So I will get that done relatively quickly. I do have another haul that I need to film. Have a couple more books coming tomorrow, but I'm not really going to be home tomorrow. I have to go to a baby shower. So I will get whatever I can get done this weekend done. Yeah, and I am currently working on dividing up books into different sets and stuff for my book collection series. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at right now. If you feel like it, you can comment down below, like the video, subscribe, you know, whatever floats your boat, tickles your fancy. Yeah, so I am slowly approaching 600 subscribers on here, which is super cool, so thank you for that. Yeah, and I will be back soon with another video. Languo, if you're watching this, you know, you hit me up. Big fan. Yeah, so I will see you guys later. Bye.